Welcome to Flashback Friday!
Welcome to the Silver Spleen. I'm in Sha Tin in the New Territories, at the 10,000 Buddha's Temple. This is where they filmed the opening of Infernal Affairs.
You know, I've lived next to Sha Tin on one side or the other for 8 years. And that was the first time I've ever actually been up the hill to that temple. So thank you and you're welcome. Hi, welcome to the Silver Spleen. My name is Hoot Gibson, and this is my review of Infernal Affairs. The story of a cop undercover in a gang and a gangster undercover in the police department. Tony Leung Chuai and Andy Lau Tatwa play the respective cop and gangster. Anthony Wong plays Tony's handler, a laconic man who's the only link Tony has to the outside world. It's interesting to watch Eric Zhang Ziwai play a bad guy, a gang boss, whose temper is as short as he is. Now, Infernal Affairs isn't a perfect film. You can certainly find the plot holes if you look. And the female characters are really not much more than window dressing. But overall, the film is still, more than a decade later, an admirable achievement. The undercover cop about to crack has been a pretty common plot line in Hong Kong and elsewhere. The best example I know of is actually out of print, but Infernal Affairs has, I think quite deservedly, become a touchstone of the genre. Featuring strong performances from the lead as well as the supporting actors, Infernal Affairs deserves its place in Hong Kong history. Infernal Affairs 2 is a prequel starring Edison Laptop Chen and Sean Yu. Infernal Affairs 3 takes place after the original movie, and while not many people seem to like it, I actually enjoy it as a character study. To me, what's really interesting now, looking back, like I said, more than a decade later, are some of the things I remember about it and some of the things that have changed today. I watched this movie in the cinema in Hong Kong in 2002. While this movie was in the cinema and getting ready to break box office records, the director, Andrew Lau, sat with me in his office for more than an hour answering questions about his own work. And it was kind of bizarre to me because, as I kept saying to him, don't you have something better to do? I was just a graduate student who had called his office and asked if I could interview him, and they said yes. Because I was leaving Hong Kong before the movie would be released to DVD, he had me leave my address with his receptionist, and he mailed me a DVD of the movie so I could show it to the class I was teaching that spring. Now, speaking of the DVD, one of the things that's interesting about it is that you can choose the alternate mainland ending, which is different than the Hong Kong one. See, I don't care if it's over 10 years old, I'm not going to spoil it. Nowadays, seems like Hong Kong just gets the mainland ending to movies like Rigor Mortis. We don't even get a chance for an alternate ending on a DVD. The only one I can think of is Lady Cop Papa Crook. Times change, and so do movies. I can easily recommend Infernal Affairs and both of its sequels, so I strongly encourage you to watch all 3 Infernal Affairs movies. But what I want you to do, of course, is to buy a disc. Don't download these movies. Downloading sucks. In the description, there are links where you can buy these movies. That's what I want you to do. And not just because I get a very minute percentage of your purchase if you order them through the links, but please do that anyway. If you enjoyed this review, please leave me a comment. If you didn't, leave me a comment too. If you enjoy these reviews in general, please think about subscribing to the channel. If you're interested in finding out more about me and the channel, please follow me on Facebook and on Twitter. That's where I put up pictures from movie premieres or movie sets or randomly bumping into famous people, or other things that don't generally make it into these video reviews. It's a good way to find out some other interesting things. Thank you and have a wonderful evening. I was living in Hong Kong when The Departed was released, and it kind of amused me, as a New Englander, whose father grew up in Boston, to hear people tell me that The Departed was unrealistic because nobody would ever really swear that much in real life. Yeah.